This video will help to troubleshoot the thumb latch on a Delaney Avino handle set. For the sake of moving along a little faster, I've already disassembled this, but reassembled this to display some roadblocks that I ran into when I disassembled this Delaney hand set. The reason I disassembled this is because this thumb knob was not working correctly and I couldn't figure out why. So I delved into pulling this apart. Well, first off, it's pretty easy to take an Allen wrench and get the handle off. Next, it's real easy to get these screws out. And pull these screws out. And then next, it's really easy to pull this assembly off. And inside, I noticed there were screws in there. And I said, how does that happen? So I attempted to next take the handle set off the door, which I ran into this little problem right here and how to get this cap off. Well, to show you real quick, there's a small tab underneath that you can get a screwdriver, and this should pop right off. And unscrew the screw, and this should pop right off like that. And then you will be able to pull the handset off. Once I pulled the handle set off, I could see that there were a few screws missing. And this was causing my thumb latch not to be secure on the handle set. So I pulled all the screws off and disassembled this. When I disassembled this, this all came off like this. And the thumb latch came off easily. But when I took this off and tried to reassemble it, I noticed that it wasn't very secure. So when you pull this apart, you notice that there should be, and there is, a little pin that goes in there. And if you reassemble this without the pin, it will not be stable and you'll have the same problems. When I disassembled this, that pin fell and I didn't know it was missing until I put the whole handle set back together and it was still wobbly. I took it apart again and noticed these grooves and noticed the holes in the thumb latch. And luckily I found the pin. So before you assemble, make sure that you put that pin back in, reassemble this, and you'll have much, much better luck. As you can see, now that I have it assembled and in place, the thumb latch works well, and all I need to do is put the screws back in. But before I reassembled and put the screws in, I did use this lubricant protection. This has a lanolin-based lubricant. It's not oil, it's not petroleum-based, but it's a really good lubricant that lasts a long, long time and isn't oily and messy. So I sprayed this into these connections to make them smooth and work properly. When reassembling, I put a little bit of Loctite on each of the screws to make sure the constant opening and closing of this front door handle set, the vibrations of opening and closing wouldn't loosen up these screws again. As you can see, with the mechanism completely assembled, you can see that now when I move the thumb latch, everything is smooth, well lubricated, and functioning as it should with no catches. Once assembled, you can see how the thumb latch functions. Open, latches in, latches out. So as you can see, the thumb latch on the handle set works perfectly from the outside and from the inside. This was one of the hardest things, trying to get this cap off. Once I figured that out, as I showed you at the very beginning of the video, everything worked great, except finding those screws on the inside and not really knowing what to do with them until I completely pulled the set apart. And as soon as I put the screws in place and tightened them, everything was really great until I noticed I did not put that pin back for that thumb latch. So good luck with you on this Aveeno Delaney handle set. This is a video to help troubleshoot the Delaney Aveeno handle set, specifically the thumb latch on the exterior of the door not working properly.